You know, every single time you type a prompt into an AI like ChatGPT, you're kicking off this insane chain reaction. It runs across some of the most complex, most expensive infrastructure humanity has ever built. And here's the kicker. You're paying for every single millisecond of it, whether you realize it or not. So let's pull back the curtain on this hidden world.
So, what's really going on when you hit send? Well, your prompt doesn't just, poof into the cloud. Nope. It zips across the internet to a gigantic, super secure building. And right now, chances are it's landing in a Microsoft Azure data center. They've got over 60 of these things scattered all over the globe.
Okay, so once it's inside, your little prompt gets sent to this huge cluster of, brain power. We're talking about NVIDIA H100 GPUs. Not a few of them, but thousands, all fired up and working together. And they are just burning through megawatts of electricity just to figure out an answer for you.
And the price tag for this stuff, it's just mind-boggling. A single one of those chips, just one, costs about 30 grand. Now imagine a whole cluster that needs tens of thousands of them. The scale is, it's absolutely staggering. Now these GPUs run crazy hot. So hot, in fact, that many of these data centers now have to use advanced liquid cooling. I mean, they're literally pumping chilled water right onto the chips to stop them from, melting. Put it all together and you've got server racks that could stretch across entire football fields. No joke.
So, all that hardware, all that cooling, you can probably guess what that means, right? A colossal amount of electricity. The power bill for just one of these big AI data centers can easily top $100 million a year. That is just an immense cost just to keep the lights on.
And here's the thing, all that silicon, all that power, all that fancy cooling, it's not free. Of course not. So that cost, it gets passed right on down the line. And guess who's at the end of that line? Yep, you are.
Okay, so how exactly do you end up paying for this? Well, these cloud AI companies, they don't just charge you a flat fee. Oh no, they bill you for every tiny little piece of the conversation. They charge you per token, which is basically just a fragment of a word. And you pay for the tokens in your prompt and the tokens in the AI's answer.
Now, if you look at the big guys, the prices seem tiny, right? OpenAI's GPT-4o, what is it, like $5 to $10 per million tokens? Seems like nothing. But then you think about it. A quick customer support chat. That could be 1,500 tokens. Summarizing a document, maybe 5,000. You can see how this starts to add up, and fast.
Now, imagine you're not just one person. Imagine a whole team of people at a small business, all using AI every single day. Suddenly, that business is looking at a bill for $500, $1,000, maybe even $2,000 a month just in API fees. And the worst part is, they often don't even see it coming. It's not one big bill, it's like a slow, invisible financial bleed.
And this brings me to a concept that I like to call the SaaS rent trap. You know how in real estate, the rent trap is when you're just throwing money away every month on rent, but you never actually own the house? Well, guess what? Cloud AI is pretty much the exact same thing.
So the SaaS rent trap is just this endless cycle, right? You're paying these monthly fees over and over to companies like OpenAI or Anthropic, but you're not building any equity. You're just getting more and more dependent on their system, and your costs, they can go up anytime without any warning.
I mean, just look at these numbers. $500 a month, maybe that doesn't sound like the end of the world. But stretch that out over 3 years, and you've just spent $18,000. 18 grand! And what do you have to show for it? Absolutely nothing.
And the risks here, they're huge. You don't own a single piece of hardware. The price can jump up whenever they feel like it. If they have an outage, your whole business just stops. You're literally building your company on someone else's property, and the landlord can change the lease whenever they want.
But, and this is the important part, here's what most people don't get. There is an alternative, a really powerful and surprisingly accessible one. You can actually break free from this whole trap by building your own private AI server. So instead of bleeding out $18,000 over 3 years, you can build a really solid, professional-grade local server for a one-time cost of about $2,350. Let me say that again. One time. That's it.
And listen, this isn't some crazy, complicated thing you can't get your hands on. It's all built with standard, off-the-shelf parts. You've got a central computer to do the thinking, some fast storage to hold the AI models, secure drives for all your data, and a compact server to run the whole show. It's all real, physical hardware that you actually own.
And you know what the best part is?
The open source AI world has totally caught up. You can run these amazing, powerful models, like Llama 3 from Meta, Mistral, even Microsoft's Phi 3, right on this machine. And for most business stuff, summarizing things, helping with code, analyzing documents, they work brilliantly. So let's just put it side by side. Over 3 years, you're looking at maybe $2,900 for the server, and that includes electricity. Compare that to, well, potentially tens of thousands of dollars in API fees. But it's not just about the money. Your data stays private on your network. There are no rate limits, and the big one, you own it forever.
So, this is how you get the power back. This is how you stop that invisible bleed we talked about. And the very first step is just to understand what's really at stake here.
So let me ask you, do you have any idea how much money the SaaS rent trap is actually costing you every single month?
Well, to help you figure that out, I actually build a really simple, totally free calculator. It's designed to show you exactly what that API spend adds up to over the long haul. You just punch in what you're spending per month, and it'll show you the 3-year total. And trust me, that number can be a real eye-opener. You can check it out for yourself. Just go to ai-server-calculator.vercel.app. And while you're there, you'll also find the complete detailed parts list for the server we talked about, so you can see exactly what you need. Look, it really all boils down to one simple thing. You wouldn't build your business on land you just rent, right? It's time to apply that same logic here. It's time to stop renting your AI and start owning it.